Hey guys, today I want to talk you through 6 points to help you choose a second-hand lens. Okay, so if you're looking at buying a lens, like a middle range or higher end lens, seriously consider buying a used one. If they haven't got serious damage, they have years and years of life in them. And if you go through and check them thoroughly, following the 6 points that I'm going to show you now, then you really can grab yourself an absolute bargain and save yourself 20, 30, 50 or more % off the current retail price of some fantastic equipment. Okay, so first up is just physically look around the entire lens, every part of it, and see if you can see evidence that it's been dropped or badly bumped. So any big scuffs, big scratches. If you're looking at a high-end, say a 2.8 zoom lens, that's a good metal construction, even the paint won't scratch easily. So if it has a big old scratch on it, you know it's had a bit of a hard wear. But otherwise, just look for any dense bumps or intrusions, because that can actually put things out inside. The tolerances are quite small. Second thing is, take a look at the front element of the lens quite close up in direct sunlight and move it around so you can see the light bouncing off in all different angles. Check that there isn't funny swirling in the coating or any obvious scratches. To be honest, even if there are slight scratches, you can shoot through it quite well, and you'll see if they're going to be a problem for you in just a second. Thirdly is take the front and rear cap off and really have a good look through it up at the sun. It's harder with Nikon ones because they automatically close the aperture down, but the Canon ones are wide open. Then just turn your zoom and focus ring around and just take a look through it and see if there's a big amount of dust or any fine hairlines that look like little cobwebs. That could be the start of fungus and something you definitely want to avoid. Next up is check the mount for any signs of damage. Little bits of dirt or whatever are fine. They'll probably come off with just a little rub anyway, but you don't want to take one that's got any warp at all in the lens mount. And I would even just give it a little bit of a flex and just see if at any of the joins it starts to come apart even by a millimeter. That could be that, especially on a cheaper lens where it's got a plastic construction, that it's been bumped or knocked and kind of cracked open at one of those seams and clicked back into place. And that could be something where there's internal damage that won't manifest itself in the tests we're doing. So you don't want it to have flex. Next up, put the lens itself onto your camera body and take like literally 100 test shots. I would spend a good 5 to 10 minutes. It may feel like an eternity when you're standing there with the person who's trying to sell it, running all of the tests, but do it. This is the most valuable test. So go all the way through the zoom range. On this one, I would go through 24, 26, 28, 30 in small increments and take shots at near focus, middle focus and far focus and just see, do you notice any funny noises? Do you notice that it struggles to focus at any of those points? And do it all the way through the zoom range and get it to focus from far to near at different focus lengths. Because sometimes if there's something out of whack, it may only show up at a certain focal length when you're pulling focus between 2 points. So it's worth your while to do all of those tests at the time. And make sure you actually take sample shots, not just run the tests, because the 6th point is go back to your computer, don't buy it on the spot or bring your computer with you if you can, and then look at it at full screen and check, is the focus on? Is there abnormal amount of vignetting? Is it not crisp and contrasty? Is there any other optical things that suggest that it's not firing on all cylinders? But if it is looking good and it passes all of those visual inspections and feeling it there's no clunks or whirs or funny noises coming from it, then seriously consider it, because you can save a bomb by buying secondhand and get a really fantastic lens. A lens like this one, if it's been treated well, will easily have 10 years or more life in it, as long as it wasn't a lemon to start with or it hasn't had a hard life. They'll just keep going and going basically until you drop it or treat it badly. So seriously check it out. And then if you are wondering how much you should be willing to pay for it, just go on to some of the big international sites and see what used ones in the same kind of condition have been selling for. Of course, if they have all of the manuals, box, pouch and all of that kind of thing, expect to pay more for it. If it's just the lens, then haggle as much as you can. But it depends a lot on how rare the lens is. It may, if it's rare, you may be paying more secondhand than it was worth new. But you could easily save 30, 40, 50% off the new price if somebody just wants to move it on, especially if the new generation has come out. They had version 1 and version 2's out now. There's nothing wrong with their 1, but they want to upgrade and the 1 will suit your needs. swoop in there and grab it. As long as it passes all of those 6 tests, you could really save yourself some money. Leave me any questions or comments or any other tips that you have that can help people out looking to buy a second-hand lens, and I'll see you soon. Please click the like and subscribe. You can also jump on and sign up for our mailing list at thatnikonguy.com. See ya.
Whilst you're here, check out my Take Control of the Light workshop series. They're coming to a city near you. Next up is my advice on how to shoot and survive the apocalypse. There we go with a 50mm 1.2 showdown between Canon and Nikon. And finally a video Tina and I made on storytelling. Check it out, guys. Please subscribe.